Hello, this is Star Television. Welcome to What Top Stories, making your local news bulletin. I am Leonora Jawara. First, we have a look at the headlines. President Julius Madavio commissions engineering equipment to help Iceland undertake more civil works and supports disaster litigation across the country.
These engineering equipment. From the outset, let me thank the friendly government and people of the People's Republic of China for yet the strong confirmation of our long-standing friendship.
Environment Protection Agency, in collaboration with Ministry of Environment, holds one workshop on the national validation of the updated Shabu River Estuary Co-Management Plan.
Also a need to improve the management of the seagrass. So the location where we found seagrass in Sierra Leone is at the Tortu Island.
A 45-man delegation from the Hunting Command and Staff College, together with students from the armed forces of the Republic of Sierra Leone forces, Liberia, the Gambia, and Guinea, embarked on a one-day celebration study tour to Liberia. And in sports, Leon Stars fails to win 3 consecutive international friendlies after receiving billions from the government of Sierra Leone. All this became the headlines. And now the news in detail. His Excellency President Dr. Julius Madavio has commissioned engineering equipment ranging from excavators, dozers, graders, dump trucks, multi-purpose backhoes, as well as crane wheelers and compactors, donated by the Chinese government for use by the Republic of Sierra Leone forces at a brief ceremony held at Cockhill Barracks Joint Force Command. A defense correspondent, Abdulrahman Kamara, reports.
Giving his welcome address, the Commander Joint Force, Major General Fred Dauda Alpha, commended the Chinese government for the support to the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, noting that the Army Engineering Unit was established in 1976 with a core mandate to undertake civil construction work, citing the many areas that they had proved well, especially the Wilberforce Regent Road, constructed in the 1980s, and a host of others.
We might be wondering why I gathered here this morning. The purpose of our gathering here this morning is to witness the official commissioning of 88 pieces of engineering equipment which are going to be commissioned this morning by no less a person but His Excellency and our Commander-in-Chief, who is Brigadier General Retired Dr. Julius Madavio. Let me just quickly make a rundown of some of the assets. Prominent among these assets are crawler excavators, crawler bulldozers, which has about 230 horsepower. We also have forklifts, graders, semi-trailers, tractors, cargo trucks, dump trucks, amongst others. But before I proceed, let me just quickly give a synopsis of the engineering regiment. The engineering regiment was established in 1976 with the sole aim of undertaking civil construction works for both the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces and, of course, support to government of Sierra Leone. Since its inception, the unit has contributed immensely to the socio-economic growth of Sierra Leone. To name a few, they have worked the reconstruction of the Wilberforce Regent Road in 1980, rehabilitation of major roads in Koidu Town, which is in Konodi Street, in 1982, construction of an accommodation of joint border operations base at Bailo, which is also located at Bologo District, in 1985, to name a few.
A representative of the Chinese ambassador to Sierra Leone recalled that on December 6, 2021, the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Madavio, met with a member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and director of the Office of the Central Commission for Foreign Affairs, Yang Yishi, in Freetown, aimed at consolidating political, mutual trust and deepening cooperation in various fields.
To be a serviceman in this country. In fact, the aid is aimed for supporting the commendable efforts of the Sierra Leone government in enhancing the capacity of its army. It's a result of the long-standing and profound friendship between our two countries, as well as the strong relationship between our two armies. It's also a concrete action of China in supporting President Liu and his government and the people of Sierra Leone in pursuing great development against numerous challenges arose inside and outside the country. I believe that these items will boost the morale of soldiers and contribute to the consolidation of peace, security in this country. I have no doubt that this assistance will help President Liu's new direction strategy in deliver more well-being to the country and to the people.
Delivering his keynote address and officially commissioning the 88 pieces of plant equipment, President Bio said Sierra Leone and China have fostered profound traditional friendship and solid political mutual trust, with fruitful results in cooperation and broad development prospect. He revealed that China is willing to work with Sierra Leone to further boost cooperation in such fields as COVID-19 response, agriculture, fishery, education, and infrastructure, as well as helping Sierra Leone fight against the pandemic and recover its economy.
Inspecting and formally commissioning these engineering equipment. From the outset, let me thank the friendly government and people of the People's Republic of China for yet the strong confirmation of our long-standing friendship. Indeed, our shared vision, shared interest are grounded in mutual respect, trust, and cooperation for the benefit of our people. On behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, I wish to extend our sincere gratitude to President Xi Jinping for the extensive and significant support from China for the development of our country in all areas, including education, technical training, healthcare, governance, diplomacy, agriculture, direct investment, trade, small-scale manufacturing, infrastructure, and civil engineering, and especially security. China has been a steadfast and consistent supporter of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
President Julius Maada Bio recalled that Sierra Leone stands ready to actively advance the bilateral cooperation within the framework of the FOCA, further beef up coordination on multilateral affairs, and safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of China and Africa, as well as developing countries at large. Reporting for Star News, compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, read in the studio by Yessi.
The Environment Protection Agency, together with the Ministry of Environment, has held a one-day workshop on the national validation of the updated Jawara River Estuary Co-Management Plan with the theme Strengthen Co-Management of Seagrass Ecosystem at the Garrison Blue Hotel in Freetown. Admire Samai tells us more.
Seagrasses are the only-flowering plants which grow in marine environments. There are about 60 pieces of fully marine seagrasses which belong to 4 families. Giving an overview of the Seagrass Resiliency Project, the Deputy Director of Environment Protection Agency, Paul Lamin, said seagrass serve as environmental and ecosystem regulator and an important climate change control and socio-economic resource in a number of ways, including keeping the ocean clean and providing ecological support. He explains more.
Done that, then there was also a need to improve the management of the seagrass. So the location where we found seagrass in Sierra Leone is at the Tortu Island in Bonfu district. And then the seagrass is actually occurring at the designated area of the marine protected area in the Jawara River Estuary. So then there was a need to develop a management plan for the seagrass. But because we already have an existing management plan for the marine protected area in Jawara River Estuary, so we only needed to incorporate the seagrass conservation action plan into the existing management plan at the Shabo River estuary. We have discovered seagrass and also the importance of seagrass in our marine ecosystem. There is need to conserve and to protect it, and that is what we actually now presenting to people, to the communities, and also to stakeholders as to what strategies we have developed in managing and also conserving the seagrass.
The chairman, Shebra River Co-Management, Reverend Umar Koma, noted that the initiative came from the National Protection Area Authority, adding that research has proven that the Shebra Island is one of the richest rivers in the country, as they have a legal mandate to keep the resources of the river after they have signed an MOU with the government of Sierra Leone to oversee the river.
Dr. Okoni and other people they don't make we able to say the Shabo River a rich area in Sierra Leone where we get boku team them for annex for the better one. We don't wake up for see the seagrass. Me a fishing and lima. I been go Pagana. I don't fish in and I'm from City Chidon. Sometimes they will be the sitting there where they go inside with net. With the pull up the throw. And by all indications, we don't know say now. Not all things where they did a net, na seagrass or na seaweed. But now, we don't get a meeting, then don't begin to teach you and now that. This project set for, let we know the value, the economic value. What is that thing they go do for we? These are God-given resources. God will not make mistake.
Giving the keynote address on behalf of the Deputy Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Edwin Bemba, the Acting Director, Environmental Quality Control and Management, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, emphasized on government's commitment and the premium it has placed on marine conservation, which is reflected in the nationally determined contribution for addressing climate change impact. He further noted that the government has made a very big leap in marine and coastal conservation and protection. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change and Environment Protection Agency has developed an integral coastal and marine protection regulations, which is soon to be laid in Parliament.
The co-management plan where they don't update. And what we sign on today, we for no say, now we sign on. We for protect the seagrass. It's a ministry and the EPA, they don't develop an integrated coastal and marine protection regulation where they will lay in a parliament very soon. And when that is done, no say seagrass law don't live for now. And they assure una say when that law go carry into force, they will go around for roll and out to that. That for go explain to una what the law say. They don't go just left her hanging. They say assure una of that.
Admire Samai reporting for Star TV News.
A 45-man delegation from the Horton Command and Staff College, led by Brigadier General Abu Conte, Assistant Chief of Defense Staff Training and Military Doctrine, including senior officers from the Ministry of Defense, comprising 14 academic staff and 30 students from the armed forces of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Liberia, the Gambia, and Guinea, are on a 5-day sub-regional study tour to Liberia. Abdulrahman Kamara compiled this report, read by Senator Kamara.
A 45-man delegation from the Heritage Command and Staff College in Sierra Leone, which includes a Brigadier General and senior staff from the Ministry of Defense, comprising of 14 academy staff and 30 students from the Armed Forces of the Republic of Sierra Leone, as well as from Guinea, Gambia, and Liberia, are on a 5-day sub-regional study tour in Liberia. The Horton Command and Staff College is currently in session as part of the Senior Command and Staff Course 01 package. Students are required to conduct field research into contemporary thematic areas in a selected country within the West Africa sub-region. The theme of the current research project is strengthening collaboration among ECOWAS member states to combat terrorism and transnational organized crimes within the sub-region. The purpose of the tour is to build and develop the research capacity of the students and to also give them the opportunity to interact with external stakeholders in the Republic of Liberia. Terrorism and other forms of organized pose global challenge whose solutions required concerted efforts from all sectors in the region across the world. This study and related interactions should form part of the conscious efforts to present a united front against what is a serious and evolving worldwide threat. The delegation, which arrived in Liberia on the 14th November 2022, paid a courtesy call to the Sierra Leone Embassy staff in Monrovia, Liberia on the 15th November 2022. They were heartily welcomed by the Deputy Ambassador, Jonathan Safar, the Head of Chancery, Mrs. Sia Tijan, and other staff of the embassy. Deputy Ambassador Safar encouraged the students to work hard, stating that the tour was not only meant to build their academic capacity, but that it will help to build their life skills and also help them in decision-making and coping with emotions and stress. He added that the embassy was overwhelmed with reports of human trafficking, laying emphasis on a fake company called Queenet, which has been duping Sierra Leoneans in Liberia. The head of the delegation, Brigadier Abubakar Conte, thanked the Deputy Ambassador, the Head of Chancery, and the entire staff of the Sierra Leone Embassy in Liberia for the warm reception accorded to them. He stated that they are aware of the challenge facing the sub-region, which is part of the reason why the Hunting Command and Staff College requested their students to embark on the study tour, to have a first-hand knowledge of the situation. The Chief Instructor of the Hunting Command and Staff College, Colonel Tyson Pesima, introduced the instructor and students to the embassy staff. For Star TV News, compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, read in the studio by Hassanatu Kamara.
In case you just joined us, you're watching the local news bulletin here on Star TV. Now, the West African Youth Network has launched their white paper for youth to be inclusive in national development, more especially in peace building. Isabella Stanley was there and she tells us more.
The West African Youth Network is a youth-led organization that was established to actively work to the enhancement for the participation of youth on issues relating to peace building, governance, conflict resolution, accountability, youth development and human rights in West Africa. The adoption of the white paper is as a result of the 4-day Peace Summit geared towards addressing the roles of students in the fight to create a safe space for students inside and outside the educational sector. Wigan Magao is the West African Youth Network Office Manager.
Students within and outside the education sector. 60 students from 10 universities, including Bo, Makeni, Port Loko, Kenema, and Freetown, came together and addressed issues relating to gender inequality, student violence, risk assessment, police brutality, and the instrumentalization of youth during election. In aiding the process, the summit saw the establishment of 4 strategic peace framework committees, which are the Committee on Dialogue and Negotiation, Committee on Conflict Analysis, Committee on Positive Peace and Social Change, and finally the Committee on Community Conflict Mediation. The 60 students across the different universities were shared in different committees, where they are charged with the responsibility to learn different peace models and draft the different sessions of the white paper based on their learning experiences. Through a constructive process, the drafting and reading stage of the white paper was done in accordance with established standing order of the summit. The hearing process of the different sessions in the white paper was done through a legislative simulatory process, which was coordinated by a selected speaker that oversights the entire hearing and endorsement process.
Dr. Josephus Boima, Chief Technical Officer, Ministry of Higher Education, noted that education is the key to development and TVET education skills training is the master key, adding that we cannot develop the country without laying premium on technical education.
Within which it works, to help without competing interests. But let me say education is noted in the world over. It is a tourism. that education is the key to development. And TVET education, skills training, vocational training, is the master key. That is what we do not in this country lay premium on. And that is why the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education was created, so that we can lay premium on hands-on training. When I book man, and philosophy and law and study, book. But I cannot do my vehicle. We cannot live a very comfortable life. We cannot develop this country without laying premium on technical education.
Edwin Yamo, Project Officer, West African Youth Network, when reading the result of the white paper, stated that the paper captures wide-ranging areas touching and concerning youth affairs.
Gender inequality. Please permit me to lay out the extract of the problems identified by this set of students. As the students define gender inequality in their own way and context, and understanding, and as well further describe the situation regarding gender inequality. The students had a better description of gender inequality in Sierra Leone. They said, I quote, "Gender inequality has its origin in traditional and religious beliefs, which over time has resulted into social and cultural norms. They now manifested themselves in legal, political, economic, and educational development, which eventually leads to an unfair society. This route has made gender inequality a difficult fight, which can be won." I quote again, "Children are trained from birth to tradition into traditional concepts of femininity and masculinity. In our own families, we ourselves, we are educated that way. We often hear the saying like, girls need to listen and boys are the head of the family. These convictions can lead to unjust treatment of girls and boys and established stereotypes which..."
For Star TV News in Freetown, I am Isabella Stanley.
Dignified and proper management of the dead is fundamental to help the families know the fate of their relatives and mourn their dead. Morticians, also known as funeral directors, work directly with the dead by embalming bodies and preparing them for funerals based on legal requirement and the wishes of the families. Abdulrahman Kamara visited that for military mortuary, where I spoke to Simeon, head of the mortuary, in this interview on their work generally at the mortuary.
The 34 military hospital, specifically for can look at how they manage corpses at this hospital. Because this is one critical intervention within a hospital setting. Management of corpses. This is very much key. I come today for come talk to the person really in charge. Because it's not much about the one day way they come and admit, how did they get medication. There is massive improvement as to which really the people. But as I say, somebody they in charge, we are getting responsible for make a can talk to. They can tell me how they manage corpses over time.
They said only from CS, the 34 military hospital, they do well, and the military get mortuary where they serve the nation. Well, first study from 2010 to 2020, we get 11 capacity. But from 2020 to 2021, through Commander Dr. Silvale, he give in blessing cover we will get a referral to take 30 corps. Well, this referral carriage it very improved the system because we get 12, 11 corps where the mortuary they take will be strained because we get relative them, we get ex-servicemen them, we get the personnel where they come, so we strain. But through the blessing of the commander who get this refer, tell us thank you now. He open up to the public. First of all, who get the corpse? If now what he died, we get the name of the corpse. The second, the next of kin of the corpse. Then the next of kin telephone number. Then the address of the corpse. From there, we enter our book. Enter all the documents in our books. From there, we ask the relative then, if not civilian, so okay, we'll go ahead, then we send on a bank. See, go to the bank and pick out. Well, the challenges will be that we'll take Commander able amenda.
Okay.
When the chemical supply. And then the most challenges will be that. But okay. Commander, as we short to go meter, give a chemical. Well, the chemical is important to we because we cops come. However, the cops day. When we get that chemical, the controller cops say come down. Because cops say we swell, we get that chemical. In space of 2 days, 3 days, they don't come down and we say they satisfy who will open. I get about 6 men then, manpower. Well, the woman then they roll because na civilian workers now, civilian they not take the hit in the army. Na volunteers there too. They roll and they assist if the couple woman there for wash woman and dress her. Then when the preservation for embalm, the man then will go embalm the woman. Wait the Lord embalm the woman they come and do the wash.
So how the embalming process can go?
Well, the embalming process, they bring at the boss, we don't go the man there inside, we go to preservation. Then after the preservation, we left out 2 days. They out, they drain and check them from the put on the pool. When you can let pictures them, I show to you, you choose what we want, and at a very reasonable cost, not to the hospital. I get post partners and we then get workshop so that they don't eat. Well, I tell you plenty thank you for when you come today and interview me. But let the public know say the military you get a mortuary feeling at home where they take care of corpse. Whatever time you keep your corpse now, anytime you come, you welcome him to Siam. The car he died, you feel it and sleep in sleep. So man, everybody not afraid for sending person here. But say, oh, 34 mortuary, oh, now this, that, no.
And to round up our news bulletin, we turn to sport. Our Sierra Leone national team Leon Stars has failed to win 3 consecutive international friendlies after receiving billions from the government of Sierra Leone. Hilton John, our sports correspondent, has more for you.
Sierra Leone national team Leon Stars has failed to win in the past 3 consecutive international FIFA friendly matches. You may be recalled the previous month it was against Morocco and South Africa. Leon Stars of Sierra Leone has been beaten by Nigeria Team B in Dubai after it was reported that 2 sets of friendly matches were organized. One allegedly organized by the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Christopher Kamara, in Turkey. His own friendly match he organized, according to reports, was turned down by some members of the Football Association. Benjamin Gordon, who served as the chairman of Fritonian Slipher, also organized an international friendly match in Dubai. According to reports not yet confirmed, allegedly that the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Football Association received correspondence from FIFA and CAF that Leon Stars of Sierra Leone supposed to play against Rwanda and Nigeria in Dubai. The report stated that allegedly Christopher Kamara failed to inform the Football Federation on time after the team went to Dubai to honor the fixture. They were unable because they failed to be on the venue on time. The Football Association organized an international friendly match against Nigeria Team B. The match ended 3-0 against Leon Stars. The Ministry of Sports, through the National Sports Authority, provided funds for Leon Stars. According to some football fanatic, these are taxpayers' money that has been wasted by the Football Association. In 3 games, they have conceded more than 8 goals. Football fans, stakeholders, journalists have called for the intervention of President Julius Maada Bio to the anti-corruption to investigate the Sierra Leone Football Association Secretariat headed by Christopher Kamara. Meanwhile, the team returned back home this week with no smiling countenance on the faces of the players. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Hilton John reporting. In another development, the remains of the former technical director who served as Assistant Secretary General of Bull Rangers Football Club, former team manager of the Sierra Leone national team, Eric Lassana has been laid to rest over the weekend in the southern region of Bo. Football fans, stakeholders, politicians from all walks of life were in attendance to pay their last respects. Eric Lassana will be missed in the football fraternity for his sincerity, integrity he displayed during his lifetime. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. The chairman of Bo Ranger Football Club, who served as the team manager for the Sierra Leone national team, Babadi Kamara, appreciates all those who sympathize with the Bo Rangers family and the southern region as a whole for the great loss of Eric Lassana. He will be missed by many. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace.
Well, those are the stories we have for you today in our local news bulletin 5. Thank you for watching. I am Leonora Jawara. Stay with us for more podcasts coming up.